You just spent money you didn't plan to spend. Again. You opened your phone, scrolled for 5 minutes, and suddenly something was in your cart. You told yourself you wouldn't do it. You have a budget, you have goals, and yet there it is, charged to your card. And by the time you realized what happened, your brain has already moved on to the next thing. You're not weak. You're not irresponsible. Your brain is just playing a game that's designed to make you lose. The real answer to why you can't stop spending isn't about willpower or discipline. It's about the architecture of your mind. Your brain was built for a world that no longer exists, and every corporation on earth knows exactly how to exploit that gap. When you understand how your spending brain actually works, you stop blaming yourself. You start blaming the system that's rigged against you, and then you can finally beat it. Your brain is divided into two systems. System 1 is fast, automatic, emotional, and reactive. System 2 is slow, deliberate, logical, and careful. Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel Prize-winning psychologist, spent decades studying how these two systems make decisions. He discovered something troubling. System 1 makes most of your financial decisions, not System 2. You think you're being rational when you spend money? You're not. You're being emotional. When you see something you want, your brain doesn't start with logic. It starts with desire. Your dopamine system activates. Your anterior cingulate cortex lights up. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that says no, is pushed to the background. This happens in milliseconds. Before you even consciously register what you're doing, your brain has already decided it wants the thing. Your conscious mind comes in after the fact to justify a decision that's already been made. This is called post hoc rationalization. Your brain wants the coffee, the shoes, the gadget. So it tells you a story about why you need it. You deserve it. You've had a hard day. It's on sale. You're saving money by buying it now. None of these stories are true, but your brain doesn't care. It's just trying to make you feel good about a decision that emotion has already made. Richard Thaler is a behavioral economist who studied how people actually spend money, not how economic theory says they should. He noticed something remarkable. People don't weigh the value of money equally across time. $1 today feels completely different from $1 tomorrow. You'd rather have $10 today than $20 in a year. This is called temporal discounting. Your brain treats future money like it's worth nothing. This is why you can't save. It's not because you lack discipline. It's because your brain is literally incapable of valuing future rewards the way it values immediate ones. When you see something you want right now, that pleasure is real and vivid and immediate. The pain of being broke in 6 months is abstract and far away. Your brain can't feel it yet, so it chooses the immediate reward every time. But it gets worse. Your brain also has a mechanism called loss aversion, and it's one of the most powerful forces in behavioral finance. Losing money hurts about twice as much as gaining money feels good. This is asymmetrical. Your brain is wired to avoid losses at almost any cost, and retailers know this. When you see a price tag, you don't just see the number, you see a loss. You imagine the money leaving your account. Your brain recoils. But then the retailer shows you a crossed-out price, the original price. Suddenly, you're not buying something for $50. You're saving $50. The frame has changed. The loss has become a gain. And your brain, which was trying to avoid the loss, now rushes toward the gain. You buy the thing you didn't want because you've been tricked into thinking you're winning instead of losing. This is called anchoring. The first number you see, even if it's fake, becomes the reference point for all your decisions after that, and your brain is powerless to ignore it. You could know intellectually that the crossed-out price was never real. You could know that the retailer just made it up to manipulate you, but your brain doesn't care. The anchor is already planted, and it's already changing your behavior. Your brain also has a social component to spending. You buy things partly because of what other people think. This isn't weakness. It's neurobiology. When you see other people buying something, your brain assumes it must be valuable. This is called social proof. If everyone else is getting it, it must be good. If everyone else is wearing it, it must make you attractive. If everyone else is upgrading their phone, you must need to upgrade yours too. The psychologist Solomon Asch ran a famous experiment in the 1950s. He showed people lines of different lengths and asked them which line was longest. The answer was obvious, but he'd planted actors in the room who all gave the wrong answer. And many of the real participants, despite seeing the correct answer with their own eyes, changed their answer to match the group. Your brain would rather be wrong with the group than right alone. This is why you buy things you don't need. Your brain is trying to belong. Your brain also perceives ownership differently than non-ownership. The moment you decide you're going to buy something, your brain starts treating it like it's already yours. This is called the endowment effect. You value it more highly simply because you've decided to possess it. Retailers use this against you constantly. They let you hold the product. They let you imagine it in your home. They let you try it on. Each moment makes you feel more like you own it. And the more you feel like you own it, the more painful it feels to put it back and walk away. But here's what's most insidious. Your brain doesn't just make you spend. It makes you rationalize spending in ways that actually feel good. Every time you justify a purchase, you're releasing dopamine. You feel smart. You feel like you won. You're literally being rewarded by your own brain for making decisions that hurt your financial future. Your brain is hijacking your own reward system and using it against you. And it gets worse because of availability bias. You remember the times you bought something on impulse and it worked out. You forget the hundreds of times you bought something and never used it. Your brain is keeping score in a way that makes impulse spending seem like a good strategy. It's literally rewriting your own history to justify your behavior. Your environment is also designed to exploit your weaknesses. Stores put the most profitable items at eye level. They put the most tempting items near the checkout. They use colors that trigger emotional responses. Red makes you feel urgency. Blue makes you feel calm and trusting. They pump in music that makes you want to linger. They use scents that make you want to buy. Everything in your environment is engineered to trigger System 1 thinking and bypass System 2 entirely. Your phone is doing the same thing. Every notification is designed to trigger dopamine. Every red badge is a trigger. Every personalized recommendation is using algorithms that know your weaknesses better than you know them yourself. The apps are free because you are the product, and the product is being sold to people who want to manipulate your spending behavior. Every second you spend on these apps is a second your brain is being shaped to want things you don't need. Credit cards are perhaps the most powerful money spending tool ever invented. Not because they're convenient, but because they disconnect the pain of spending from the act of spending. When you pay cash, you physically feel money leaving your hand. Your brain experiences the loss viscerally. But with a credit card, there's no immediate pain. The pain comes later, maybe weeks later. And by then, your brain has already moved on. You've made dozens of other purchases and justified them all. The original decision to spend feels invisible. But the fundamental architecture of your brain hasn't changed. You are still the same organism that evolved on the African savanna. Back then, resources were scarce. When you found something good, you had to take it immediately or it would be gone. You couldn't save for later. The future was uncertain. So your brain evolved to want things now and to feel the pain of missing out more intensely than the pain of losing money later. That's not a flaw. That was smart. That kept you alive. But now you live in a world of artificial scarcity. Everything is designed to feel urgent. Limited time offers, one item left in stock, exclusive deals for the next 3 hours. Your brain can't tell the difference between real scarcity and fake scarcity. It just responds to the feeling. And that feeling makes you spend money you don't have on things you don't need. So you're not broke because you're bad with money. You're broke because your brain is optimized for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And because every single system around you, retail, technology, advertising, social media, is designed by people who understand your brain better than you do. They're using that knowledge to engineer your spending behavior in ways that make them rich and keep you poor. The good news is that understanding the mechanism changes everything. Once you know why you spend, you can design your environment to protect yourself. You can delete the apps. You can unsubscribe from the emails. You can leave your credit card at home. You can shop with a list and stick to it. You can wait 48 hours before making any purchase. You can automate your savings, so money goes to your future before it ever touches your hands. You can't change your brain, but you can change your environment, and your environment changes your brain. You just spent money you didn't plan to spend. Again. But now you know why. And knowing why is the first step to knowing how to stop.